Are arranged marriages as successful as the relationships we form today? Did those marriages succeed?
Many of us don't want to acknowledge how successful arranged marriages actually have been and continue to be.
Really?
Continue to be. But we have to look at the why, right? Now, when people hear this, they immediately say, oh, well, what about all the abuse and the dissatisfaction that happens in these relationships? Does it happen? Absolutely. But it also happens in non-arranged marriages at significantly high rates. So why are arranged marriages so successful? To some researchers, they have a higher level of satisfaction than non-arranged marriages. And here's the reason why. The reason why is because you have families coming together and negotiating and determining whether or not this particular person fits within their family structure. And what does that mean? That means that you have literally a mother, a father, a grandmother, a grandfather, a brother, a sister who come together and they discuss and debate the characteristics. They discuss and debate whether or not this person is an upstanding, is this an upstanding human being? Is this person open-minded? Is this person going to be resourceful, right? Are they resilient? They debate these characteristics. And the reason why it's so beneficial is because the person getting married is not involved, and they're not involved because they would be entirely biased. What happens today is incredibly dangerous. What happens today is when we meet someone, we typically do not involve any friends and family. We are already infatuated with the person, so we're obsessed with them. Therefore, we can't even determine whether or not they have any of the traits that we want. We are living through our own trauma, and we're not even selecting them. Typically, they are selecting us. So we end up sliding, if you will, into a relationship that was never right for us to begin with. Whereas in arranged marriages, you have a true debate happening around whether or not someone will fit within within the life of that individual. Another example is why my wife and I, in our matchmaking agency, we pioneered something that had never been done, at least to our knowledge, in matchmaking. Like, Stephen, if you were a client of ours, you would be the perfect client at that time, right? Because we had many men who were incredibly successful professionally and felt as if, okay, what I'm missing is I'm missing love. I'm missing partnership. So if you came to us as a client, instead of me saying, all right, Stephen, tell me what you want, right? And you give me this long list. I know you'd give me a list of like 150 things that you want, right? Instead, I would say, no, you go sit over there. I'm not even going to talk to you. Instead, let me talk to your brother. Let me talk to your coworkers. Let me talk to your exes. Yes, let me talk to your exes. Let me get a 360 perspective of who you are from the people who you are closest to. And I would then build out a profile based on the consensus of what they're telling me.
This is so true. I've got one of my best friends in the world has struggled with a few of my best friends, but there's two I'm thinking about in particular, but one I really want to focus on. He's struggled in relationships for the last, I'd say 15 years. And every single time he gets in a relationship, as his friend, I go, that's not it. That's not it. That's not it. And every single time he gets with somebody else, I go, oh, that's not it either. And after this last relationship failed, I sat with him and I'm trying not to intervene too much, but I said, bro, I will know. I feel like the same way that he knew when I'd found the right one, and he would literally, if I was to dump my current partner, he would literally reverse the decision.
Yes.
He would write an executive order to reverse the decision because he knows that person is exactly what was right for me. In the same way, I could literally draw a picture. I could tell you the occupation, the age of the right person for him based on knowing him and him being my best friend for 10, 15 years. But for some reason, he goes for everything opposite than that.
Right.
And I've always wondered this. I've always wondered, should we be picking our friends' partners for them?
No. If as a society, we went back to our nearest and dearest family and social circle.
Yeah.
And I want to emphasize the people who we truly love, because like not all family is family.
Yeah.
So if we had that circle making the decision for us, we would have much higher satisfaction rates in marriages, without question, or much higher satisfaction rates in partnerships. It's because of precisely what you said.
Reading a study here, it says a 2012 study published in the Journal of Comparative Family Studies found that couples in arranged marriages in collectivist cultures reported similar or higher levels of satisfaction over the long term compared to those in love marriages.
Yes. Yes. Go back. Eli Finkel, 80% of our marriages have a lower level of satisfaction today than any point in history. And you think about even what we were, you think about the emphasis that we place on the individual. This is something that needs to really be emphasized, because the more that we require our partner to deliver everything to us, the higher their bar becomes, the expectation. And the moment that they're not meeting that expectation, we're not satisfied. Now, they could be delivering on 9 out of 10 things, but because our expectation is 10, we have low satisfaction. Because ultimately, that's what satisfaction is. Satisfaction is really based on our expectation.